Okay, I am continuing my reading, and what I am doing in this series is I am reading through the entire standard works of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. This consists of the Bible, the Book of Mormon, the Doctrine and Covenants, and the Pearl of Great Price. I am reading in a chronological order according to events, not according to publication or volume, so I will be skipping around just a little bit as I move along. I have already read the beginning of the earth's history, from the creation to the exodus of Israel from Egypt. This was books of Genesis in the Bible, as well as Abraham and Moses in the Pearl of Great Price. It included portions of the Book of Ether from the Book of Mormon, as well as the Book of Job in the Old Testament. I have also read the first 15 chapters of Exodus. So I'm getting back into Exodus now. This is chapter 16. Let's take a look real quick. Might have to do this in 2 videos. We will see. Israel murmurs for want of bread and lusts for the fleshpots of Egypt. The Lord rains bread from heaven and sends quails for meat. Israel given manna each day, except the Sabbath, for 40 years. And they took their journey from Elim, and all the congregation of the children of Israel came unto the wilderness of Sin, which is between Elim and Sinai, on the 15th day of the 2nd month after their departing out of the land of Egypt. And the whole congregation of the children of Israel murmured against Moses and Aaron in the wilderness. And the children of Israel said unto them, Would to God we had died by the hand of the Lord in the land of Egypt, when we sat by the fleshpots, and when we did eat bread to the fill. For ye have brought us forth into this wilderness to kill this whole assembly with hunger. So the flesh pots, that's, the cooking vessels for, boiling meat, whatever. But they're complaining, saying, we're in the wilderness, we don't have enough food, because, again, they left in a hurry. They didn't take time to prepare. And they did take flocks and herds with them, but they had no bread, they had no flour or anything like that. So now they're complaining that they don't have enough food. And this does also give us a little bit of insight into how they were treated in Egypt. Because, yes, they were oppressed. They were slaves in Egypt. But they had enough to eat. They were not being starved. Because it says, we did eat bread to the full. In other words, they always had enough food to satisfy them. So, verse 4. Then said the Lord unto Moses, Behold, I will rain bread from heaven for you, and the people shall go out and gather a certain rate every day, that I may prove them whether they will walk in my law or no. And it shall come to pass that on the 6th day they shall prepare that which they bring in, and it shall be twice as much as they gather daily. And Moses and Aaron said unto all the children of Israel, At even then ye shall know that the Lord hath brought you out of the land of Egypt. And in the morning then ye shall see the glory of the Lord, for that he heareth your murmurings against the Lord. And what are we, that ye murmur against us? And Moses said, This shall be when the Lord shall give you in the evening flesh to eat, and in the morning bread to the full, for that the Lord heareth your murmurings which ye murmur against him. And what are we? Your murmurings are not against us, but against the Lord. So, I like this. First of all, Moses is very true, very right here. They're complaining to Moses and Aaron. He's saying, we're just the servants. You're complaining about God. But God says, look, I'm going to give them bread from heaven. And we'll see if they'll follow my law. And Moses says they're going to get bread in the morning and meat in the evening. So let's see how this works out. And Moses spake unto Aaron, Say unto all the congregation of the children of Israel, Come near before the Lord, for he hath heard your murmurings. And it came to pass, as Aaron spake unto the whole congregation of the children of Israel, that they looked toward the wilderness, and behold, the glory of the Lord appeared in the cloud. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, I have heard the murmurings of the children of Israel. Speak unto them, saying, At even ye shall eat flesh, and in the morning ye shall be filled with bread, and ye shall know that I am the Lord your God. And it came to pass that at even the quails came up and covered the camp, and in the morning the dew lay round about the host. And when the dew that lay was gone up, behold, upon the face of the wilderness there lay a small round thing, as small as the hoarfrost on the ground. Now, it says small round thing. This is alternate Hebrew translation is a fine flake-like object, similar to snow or frost. So, verse 15, and when the children of Israel saw it, they said one to another, It is manna, for they wist not what it was. And Moses said unto them, This is the bread which the Lord hath given you to eat. So here we go. God is sending them quails in the evening. Quails are just walking into camp, and they walk over and pick them up. And in the morning, when the dew dries up from the sun, as the dew dries up, what is left behind is this, what they call manna. And we don't really have a good translation for the word manna, but the closest we have is what is it? Because they didn't know what to call it, so they just called it what is it. So now we get into the nitty-gritty stuff here. Verse 16. This is the thing which the Lord hath commanded. Gather of it every man according to his eating, an omer for every man according to the number of your persons. Take ye every man for them which are in his tents. And the children of Israel did so, and gathered some more, some less. And when they did meet it with an omer, he that gathered much had nothing over, and he that gathered little had no lack. They gathered every man according to his eating. And Moses said, Let no man leave of it till the morning. Notwithstanding, they hearkened not unto Moses, but some of them left it until the morning. And it bred worms and stink. And Moses was wroth with them. And they gathered it every morning, every man according to his eating. And when the sun waxed hot, it melted. So here we go. With this manna, they only have the morning to get it, because as the sun gets up and you get the heat of the day, it melts away. So you have to gather enough for the day. But if you gather more than for the one day, then it begins to rot, and the maggots and worms start coming to eat it. And it is very, it is unhygienic. So Moses told him, look, you go out every day, you gather what you need for that day, no more, no less. Get what you need and get it in the morning, because it won't be here after the morning. But don't try to save it for tomorrow, because it's not going to keep. Verse 22, and it came to pass that on the 6th day they gathered twice as much bread, 2 omers for one man. And all the rulers of the congregation came and told Moses, and he said unto them, This is that which the Lord hath said, Tomorrow is the rest of the holy Sabbath unto the Lord. Bake that which ye will bake today, and seethe that ye will seethe, and that which remaineth over lay up for you to be kept until the morning. And they laid it up till the morning as Moses bade, and it did not stink, neither was there any worm therein. And Moses said, Eat that today, for today is a Sabbath unto the Lord. Today ye shall not find it in the field. 6 days ye shall gather it, but the 7th day, which is the Sabbath, in it there shall be none. And it came to pass that there went out some of the people on the 7th day for to gather, and they found none. And the Lord said unto Moses, How long refuse ye to keep my commandments and my laws? See, for that the Lord hath given you the Sabbath, therefore he giveth you on the 6th day the bread of 2 days. Abide ye every man in his place, let no man go out of his place on the 7th day. So the people rested on the 7th day, and the house of Israel called the name thereof Manna. And it was like coriander seed, white, and the taste of it was like wafers made with honey. So it's a sweet, seed-like substance. And you get this every day. They gather for that day, except on the sixth day, which would be Friday for us. They gather enough for 2 days so that they don't have to work on the Sabbath. And they go in, and on any other day, if they gathered for 2 days, it began to rot and stink and all that. But on Friday, on the sixth day, they would gather for 2 days, and it would not spoil for the Sabbath. It would keep for the Sabbath. And this was to show God's law, that God would make it possible for them to keep his law. Verse 32. And Moses said, This is the thing which the Lord commandeth. Fill an omer of it to be kept for your generations, that they may see the bread wherewith I have fed you in the wilderness, when I brought you forth from the land of Egypt. And Moses said unto Aaron, Take a pot, and put an omer full of manna therein, and lay it up before the Lord, to be kept for your generations. As the Lord commanded Moses, so Aaron laid it up before the testimony to be kept. And the children of Israel did eat manna 40 years, until they came to a land inhabited. They did eat manna until they came unto the borders of the land of Canaan. Now an omer is the 10th part of an ephah. Okay. So now God is telling them to preserve some of the manna so that they will have a physical object to show the people. Not just a written record, but an artifact that they can show to their descendants to prove what the Lord did for them in the wilderness. Now, I do want to do a quick look back here in the Bible dictionary. Let us see if it tells us the modern equivalent of an homer. Of an omer. A measure of capacity be 1/10 of an ephah, or about half a gallon. Wow, that actually seems quite a bit. So I guess they weren't baking the stuff. They were probably just, that's how much each person ate each day, half a gallon of manna. So it's an interesting story, but there's not a lot of detail in there that's not generally known. So I don't know if I need to continue on. We'll just leave it there, and we'll see you in the next one.